Oh,
Bro,
man.
I'm undefeated at East, though. Connor Fox.
You remember that photo I sent you?
Bro, I'm undefeated at East, like. So,
Man, we're talking 2K stuff here in the after party. Man, holy cow! Wow. All right.
You don't want it.
All right.
Big Will got that
The cast and crew here. You know me. You know who I am. Kaden Gaylord-Day filling in for Cole Scott as well too. So was Tyler Fernandez filling in for Cole Scott. Tyler will join us in the studio in a few moments and talk about South Warren softball and that run. He called like 30 games for them this season, so he'll be here to talk about that too as well. But we got Coach Braden Combs and all those players for the Metcalfe County Hornets here on the after party. Coach, just talk about this upcoming season. I know you're excited to when December gets here and get things started. What's going to be like that opening night for you on either in late November or early December to get that ball rolling for the regular season?
We have a very interesting first game. Our first game's at home. It's girl-boy doubleheader against Warren East Lady Raiders.
Oh, no! Did you schedule that?
Wow.
No.
Oh, my God.
It was already scheduled. For sure it was already scheduled. And so that's
script
the
is in,
opener.
folks.
The main thing is before we even get close to that, we need to have a good July.
Okay.
And when I say good July is we're going to try to do a lot of stuff strength-wise and get a ton of shots up. Those are the two things we've got to do. I still feel like this summer we've shot the ball decent, but we've not had that game yet to where we're just knocking down a ton of threes. We get a lot of steals with our defense, whether we're in zone or man, and the ultimate just downer is getting a steal, and you want to make a three after a steal. So we've got one more summer league game. That's tomorrow at home against Emerson County. It'll start. JV starts at 5, and the varsity game will start around 6. And July will be big for us. And obviously, once the school year gets going, I get taking care of that. But December's big because, again, I'm going back. This is not new to me, but I'm going back to a district with 5 teams.
That's right.
Like it was when I was down here. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at playing 2 to 3 district games before Christmas. And, you can only schedule 30 basketball games, but you've got 8. So almost nearly a third of your schedule is district games. So with that being said, you certainly want to protect your home turf. You got to win those home district games.
And in the 4th Region All A, you'll be facing some of those district teams in there too as well. So you got to add that into as well. And
it's and I've thought about it. We could play certain teams 4 and 5 times.
You sure could. You could.
And I'm hoping that's the case. That means we've had a lot of success. So.
Well, let me ask you this. What would it mean for you guys to get to Owensboro in the 2A? Or the single A, I'm sorry, the All A's.
It'd be nice. I mean, that's always the goal is to win All A and to move forward in that. So it'd be nice and it'd be fun.
Cullen, you've been quiet. You need to chime in, dude.
Well, that'd be the biggest moment in my career so far. So be pretty big. That's better.
I feel like it'd be pretty cool. If we were able to make it to that end region, playing the 2 college
He's
floors.
gotten to play in the 2A stage.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah,
it'd be my second time there, so it'd be pretty cool.
Well, we was very close last year. I think we could have won last year. Garrett didn't go down and hurt his foot, and he was out for almost a whole quarter. But we was that close last year to do it, and I think we could be even closer this year and actually cut down some nets and hold the trophy.
Winning All A is definitely a big goal. Preseason goal is that, and winning district, and then doing good in the region tournament. But that's the main goals.
Class A would be a big achievement for us, and see some hard work pay off early in the year. Maybe put some work in for district and show us that we can do something.
Yeah, it would be special, showing that we put in hard work and everything. And I know our fan base would come out and support us if we made it there. So it'd be a special time.
Hornet Nation is the best.
With Metcalfe County, like you said during the live show, it's the topic of the conversation on girls and boys side right now.
Yeah.
If the girls and the boys scrimmaged right now, who's winning?
Oh my goodness.
Who's winning? And who's the leading scorer? Because
on.
I have an answer, but I just want to see what y'all say first.
I'm as the adult in the room, I'm staying out of this.
Yeah, that's Cade.
Boys by 20.
You can get the teenagers take, but our girls have got extraordinarily good team. Coach Turner's doing a good job with them, being a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
Couple obviously got two of the better players in the region.
Yeah. and friends. And friends.
And that's what I was going to mention. The Metcalfe County Lady Hornets has always been like the Spurs to me. That's how they play basketball in my mind. Obviously, but Heidi's not there anymore. But in my mind, that's how they've always been. And now they got Avery Morris, right? So to me, I'm like, oh, girls versus boys, she's dropping 40 on y'all. So I was 40.
He's not lying, though. He's not lying.
I think it's great for y'all's community for sure that there's a lot of excitement around the basketball teams, because I remember Metcalfe County making some good runs in the 4th region just a couple of years ago. So for you all, I don't know how old you all were, if you were on the team at that point, but knowing that there was a lot of success for the program a few years ago, seeing that, does that kind of make you all excited that Coach Combs is here and that you all can maybe get back to those points?
Definitely. I feel like knowing we could get back to those points and making the region tournament, making noise every year, could be big for us.
I want these guys to be able to accomplish, obviously, first and foremost, what they want. But I had mentioned this in the interview process, and as well to the kids. I feel fortunate every morning I wake up. I'm the head boys basketball coach at Metcalfe County. There's only 200 of these jobs in the state. I'm thankful for the opportunity to do that. Been extremely lucky. I've taken 2 other Class A schools as a head coach to the region tournament, and it would be icing on the cake to take a 3rd. And I feel like with this bunch of kids we have this year, I will have that opportunity. I got to catch some breaks along the way.
Right.
That goes without saying, but for me personally, and I'm not a personal goal type guy, and you can ask these kids, I've not come out and demanded anything, or hey, I'm out to win 400 games or anything like that. But for me, I think that would be really cool. And it would be really good for this bunch of seniors, that the legacy they leave, and we talk about this a lot, would be to get back to Diddle, and they know if we get to Diddle Arena, that place is going to be packed.
It was a couple years ago, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, 16th district. I mean, doesn't matter what school, they always pack Diddle Arena, man. I mean, that's a compliment, especially Metcalfe County. Like, they always come and they always just pack that place out. It's unbelievable. It's a beautiful sight to see from where I broadcast all the way up at the top of Section 213. It's phenomenal.
Certainly, Tyler. I always joke around whenever the 16th district boys or girls team plays in Diddle Arena, somebody could just go rob the town. It's kind of one of those.
I've heard that before.
It's kind of one of those last person out. Turn the lights out of town. We're heading to Bowling Green to Diddle Arena, and that's special. And it's obviously special for a coach to have that opportunity, and it's extremely special for a player to have that opportunity and something they'll remember, and the rest of their lives, definitely.
If you get to Owensboro, they're gonna pack it out as well too to the Sports Center.
Most certainly. I've never been to a Class A. I was close one year at Cumberland County. I would love to get to go experience that, because again, it's a 16-team tournament. You've got extremely quality teams in it. Quite a few of those teams make the Sweet 16 at the end of the year.
That's true.
And I think it would be good just to get to experience for these kids in our community, and it'd be a great trip for sure.
It's for the ones that play other sports, especially like football, and which one takes more out of you? I mean, obviously football is on the front end, right? It's more physical, right? But then on the back end, you got to play basketball right after. So at some points, for some people, it could be more exhausting to play basketball because it's more endurance, more of an endurance sport.
You need to get Jake's take. He's 110% both sports.
All right, yeah. So for you, what's the mindset like for football and basketball, and which one takes more out of you, or which one requires more, training out of you?
Probably football, but I'd say it depends on what we're doing that day. Because if I'm at football that morning and we do squats or legs or something, then that's really gonna affect me later in basketball.
Which one you enjoy more?
You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Basketball.
I say, I don't know, it's about the same. It just depends.
Okay.
Fair enough. I would have told Combs, yeah. Put me in those.
He loves hitting people in football, and he loves hitting screens in basketball.
So, Coach, when you have multi-sport athletes that's playing sports during the fall, how you gonna get them to get on the basketball court at all, if they have any time at all, from football, golf, or whatever, to put up some shots or anything while that's going on, because that's going to be kind of hard for them to do that while they're concentrating on the other sport they're doing in the fall too as well.
The sport that they're participating in obviously takes priority. I said that as a coach my first go around. I said that as an athletic director.
Okay.
But still, there's some opportunities. If the gym, the good thing about it, I'm 15 minutes away from the gym. Anytime those guys want to get in and shoot, they're more than welcome to come in and get shots up. And that's the way we'll operate. They obviously, whatever they're doing at that point, whatever that season, that the majority of their time needs to be dedicated to that, because they're being counted on.
Right.
And it's their choice to play that other sport. So definitely we want them. And again, being at Warren East as a coach in AD is not that much different than being at Metcalfe, because we had several multi-sport athletes at Warren East. We had to.
Right.
You know, we were the smallest high school down here by far.
Easily, yeah.
And we needed to share athletes, and that's something that I'm accustomed to and used to, and will encourage.
Coach, I just kind of talk about, this entire off season for just the entire region, because, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I've never seen in all my time here, not just this region, but I've seen a lot of changes that are going on, especially from a coaching perspective. So kind of talk about is it the grind or something that kind of gets to them, or can you kind of give us kind of your implementation on the changes that have just been going around in basketball from a coach to now what's going to be for the future?
It definitely, Tyler, it cycles. I forgot how many head football coaching vacancies there were across the state. It was astronomical.
It was a lot.
It was astronomical. I'm thinking it was over 100 maybe. Something like that. So, I mean, it definitely cycles. There's a lot of variables that go into that. Obviously, success is number one. If these coaches are having success, they're going to stay there. If they're having some problems or they run through some lean years, they're just like, hey, this is very taxing on me. This is taxing on my family. I don't have to do this. And one thing about it is when I made the transition from coach to AD, I tried to my door's always open. If you guys, coaches, need to come vent, come vent. Being in this 20 plus years, I've probably seen it or heard it at some point in time. I tried to be super supportive. But nowadays, as much as we don't want to admit it, the sports are 12 months out of the year. 12 months out of the year, that's the way they are.
Yep.
And your bigger high schools, they can kind of absorb that better because they don't have those kids who overlap and play other things. So the Metcalfe counties of the world, the Warren East of the world, we have to make what little time we have with those guys in those months important and make them count. And another thing too is it's already trickled down, guys. College sports now is professional sports.
Yep.
It is. And what that's done is you've monetized college sports. You've killed high school sports by doing that.
Yep.
These college coaches now are going, what? They're getting these 22, 23-year-old kids. The high school kids have kind of been left out to dry. So obviously with that being said, and I hope it doesn't trickle down to high school. If it does, I'm just going to tell Tyler, you're going to be talking about me leaving. If high school sports becomes monetized, I'll ride off into the sunset, as they say. But it's definitely basketball-wise, you typically see 25 to 30 openings, I would think, in the summer, and I feel like there's been more than that. But the football was just astronomical, and again, I think the wear and tear of the job and the wear and tear on the family, and because the first person gets blamed for everything, it's not Warner Combs or Braden Page or you guys as coach. and some folks, they can handle that because that's what they signed up for, and for other people they can't. So
No, go ahead.
Sorry. And just another question I was going to ask you. In a couple years, it's going to be the shot clock era for Kentucky high school basketball.
Yeah.
So coaches and players that are going to, you all can answer this too. I know some of y'all are going to still be on the team when it's implemented the season after. Just kind of talk about, the transition going from not having a shot clock to now, we're going to have a shot clock now, and kind of give us your pros and cons about that.
Let me preface their answer first, Tyler. We played a game this summer with it. And guess how many shot clock violations we had?
None. Because I feel like for the boys, it'd be easier to adapt than will be for the girls?
I think we're making a bigger deal of it. You know, that folks are anti-shot clock. They're making a whole lot bigger deal of it in reality what it is. But I'll let the kids talk.
I feel like playing the game this summer with the shot clock, we never looked up at it. It was like, you have 2 seconds, shoot it. It was, you had always already shot the ball and got an offensive rebound, or you had to run back on defense. It never affected us.
Yeah, like Braden said, it's not really a difference. You know, our sets, we get in them quick, and we're not one of those teams. You know, set. I feel like we get to our shots easy, and it's not really a difference.
And Tyler, we went with 35 seconds at Western's team camp, so it was, I felt like it was more than fair time-wise.
I mean, yeah, even going off that, you know, Mike D'Antoni in the 7 seconds or less offense kind of, you know, transformed basketball. So, like, even from then, it's trickled down all the way into high school. So, I agree. The anti-shot clock people are, you know, blowing it out of proportion. I think the transition is going to go very smoothly.
I'm more at the girls because the girls don't play fast.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
You know, and they run set offenses and they do stuff like that and so forth. So 35 seconds for them is going to be pretty quick. Yeah. So they got to really be able to coach it up.
From putting my coaching hat on, Brian, what you're going to see a lot now is from both genders, male and female teams, you're going to see a whole lot more pressing.
You sure will.
You're going to see some zone pressure. You're going to see some 2-2-1. Let's keep the ball in front of us because that shot clock's rolling.
It's rolling.
Yep.
Exactly.
I was also going to say it might take a little bit of a toll on like budgets as well because some schools, obviously Bowling Green's is excluded because they already have one.
Right.
But you know, I've heard from one of the coaches saying, you know, they're going to have to get new goals and for it to be designed to put the shot clock on there. And I've also heard about, you know, well, who was going to control it? I know there's going to be a lot of question marks, but I think once they get that piece of the puzzle put together, I think it's going to be really good as well. I mean, look, Tennessee, where I'm from, it's my home state. They just also implemented a shot clock as well for the next few years. So the game's changing.
I mean, Tyler, it's like anything else. What's most of the public's feeling about change? They absolutely what?
They don't like it.
They hate it.
Of course.
They absolutely hate it.
Because they're so used to the routine.
But we'll adapt to it. I think Coach Allen has already, our athletic director at Metcalfe's already ordered our shot clocks. You know, so I'm hoping they get installed somewhere here late in the summer and we can start go ahead. The thing is, you can actually, in 26-27 season, you can play with them. The other team has to agree to it.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and why not? You know, they're there. Why not go ahead and use them? You know, I don't know necessarily if we do it for a district game, but maybe an out-of-district game.
I was going to say, district game, I would not do it district game. No.
And how the 16th district is, I probably wouldn't have any of the other 4 schools go along with what I want to do anyway.
Exactly.
So we'd probably stay away from doing that. But, I mean, guys, what did you all – I mean, I didn't feel like it affected us at all. We played another 4th region school, and they didn't have – they had one possession. But, I mean, again, it had – and we were pressing each other. We were zoning each other. We were – throwing everything we had out at each other, just trying to figure ourselves out. And I never heard. I would venture to say during that game, which it was a decent game, it was back and forth. It was what 2 20-minute running halves, guys. Yeah. And I would say we probably didn't get under 10 seconds. You probably count on one hand.
Right.
So,
like I say, I think the girls will have a problem more adapting to it than the guys will. So. One more question before we get you guys out of here real quick, and then before you, Coach, you mentioned Coach John Allen. What's it like to be working alongside with him? Because he's a character, that's for sure.
He's I consider him, he's a lot like myself. He's very low maintenance. And you can ask these guys, I'm very low maintenance. That's who when I was an AD, that's who I liked hiring. I liked hiring low maintenance, high output guys. And, you know, we had those guys at Warren East, the West Stanfords of the world, and those type folks. And but that's how we've had we've known each other for years, and we would have AD conversations about stuff. And everybody's been great so far to work for. I feel like the honeymoon, so to speak, is wore off. So now it's kind of real, and everybody, what you see is what you get.
Yep.
And I admire that, and I appreciate that.
All right. Before we get you guys out of here, the quick NBA thing I was telling you guys about. So it's Boston, Miami, Oklahoma City, or Golden State. Where does Giannis go? Where's he go?
Well, see, as the resident Celtics hater, preferably not there, but I actually think Miami probably is going to be the best package, especially because Tyler Hero is very emotional, and he already unfollowed the Heat and all that, and a couple other guys did too, and so I think he's going to Miami.
I certainly think South Beach. That's the hang for him. Guys, what do you all think?
Wow,
Miami.
really?
Miami.
I don't know what these guys are saying. He's going to Golden State.
Warner's a Golden
That's
State
what
guy.
I was
don't know what
thinking.
these guys are saying. He's going to Golden State.
Warner pulls for a team full of geezers.
No. Draymond.
I can tell you. So that's what I was going to say. They don't.
So they got to get up out of there.
You said pods.
You think the
Yes,
Bucks?
bro.
You think the Bucks are going to set the trade for Draymond
put him
Green?
back-
Yes.
Three-time
Put a mic, if you're going to talk, put the microphone in
Giannis?
front of you. Put the microphone in front of you.
So,
Yeah.
going on what he said, the trade package the Warriors have isn't that great because Jimmy Butler tore his ACL. So you'd be trading a 36-year-old Jimmy Butler off a torn ACL, Draymond Green, 37-ish.
Yeah. 37.
You have draft picks, sure, but the return investment, I don't think is there.
Return.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Miami has better because they have Kel, they have Jaime Jaquez, you have Tyler Hero, and you also have draft picks as well. So I think Miami's.
Well, what about OKC? Would you can trade Holmgren
You
and
could.
lots of
Yeah,
draft
you
picks?
could.
I wouldn't
I would
trade
venture to say Holmgren's played his last game in Oklahoma
I think so
City.
too.
I don't think anybody wants Ted after that Game 7 performance.
He lost all conference after he got dunked on.
I was saying my top two are either I'd say my top one's Miami, but I would not be shocked if he would get traded to OKC as well, because I do think that you could get a pretty good package deal as well at OKC,
You sure
and,
can.
as well as Miami. But
Yeah.
I think Miami's probably more attractive. I think as well, the more like attractive like offer in terms of trade value.
Well, we'll find out before next Tuesday's draft, which is a 2-night draft, by the way, Tuesday and Wednesday. First time ever. 2-night draft. So that's going to be great. So, all right. Coach Combs, give you the last word. Anything you want to add before you get you guys out of here?
We really appreciate the opportunity. I know we're not kind of in the local network down here. We appreciate the opportunity to come from the 16th district and talk to you guys, and we appreciate you guys recognizing us and giving us the opportunity. Great bunch of kids in here. Got several kids. This one to my left, and the senior bunch here. A lot of these kids, I feel like, will have the opportunity to continue basketball after their senior year if that's what they wish. And especially the guy on my left here, he's going to surprise a lot of people. Braden down here has already made, 2 game winners this summer, knocked down some free throws as a senior. Chance Garrett, awesome athlete. He sprained his ankle the first night, and I thought maybe he was done for the whole summer. He comes back like 2 games later.
Wow.
This is a great bunch of kids. And we appreciate, again, the opportunity. And, guys, if I'm forgetting or leaving out anything, feel free to speak for us. But we're just appreciative, and we're going to continue to try to control the things we can control.
Can we get you down here during the regular season? That's the question.
We can.
Okay. All right.
We need to have a buffet or something, because keep in mind, we're driving from a little distance, Brian. We need some slim chickens, as Tyler was eating earlier. Or
Yeah, so a few of y'all were looking at it.
I will plug him across the street because, that's good Italian food. Danny's, right across the street.
I'll take Italian.
Really good. It's right across the street. Danny's, it's good. When you walk in, that aroma hits you right in the face. You'd be like, you're in heaven.
And I hope we get the opportunity to see KGD to my left. If we get to see him where I want to see him, we've had a really good year. And but again, it was great seeing you, Brian. Appreciate it, Tyler. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you giving these guys the opportunity. Is this first time for you guys, the majority of you? So it's been awesome, and I don't want to speak for them, but they appreciate the opportunity as well.
Again, pork shoulder sandwiches. We'll get this man
We
down
got
here
it.
during the regular season.
KGD, we got you covered, dude.
He's got it. He'll be there. He will be there. All right.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Coach Combs and players, thanks for joining us on Sports Talk. We appreciate
Thanks,
you
guys.
guys.
We're going to cut out.
All right. We'll take a quick break as we get Tyler in here. We'll talk a little South Warren Lady Spartans history. Next, here on the After Party, here on Sports Talk, live on Talk 104.
Appreciate you always,
Now to be
friend.
KCT, presented by Greenwood Ford.
Appreciate you, friend.
Yes, sir. I'll give you a call during the season. We'll get you guys down here. Hope we get you down here before any of the all-A stuff that's going crazy. We'll figure it out.
I got you.
We got you.
Hey, just tell Combs. Yeah, look, we used to sit next to each other all the time. Hey, y'all can watch Warner lose to me at 2K because that's certainly happening.
You be live stream?
Oh yeah, I stream. I'm on Twitch.
You on Twitch?
Yeah.
Twitch, please. Switch, please.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Coach.
Switch is probably this one. That's fine. Get rid of that stool. All right. Kaden, you'll sit in your normal spot. Oh, someone left a backpack. Is that you, Kaden? That's me. Okay. Tyler, get you in here on camera. You left the volumes up, right?
Yes. I did not switch any of the volumes off.
Okay, good. All right.
Live videos.
All right.
I'm gonna check them real fast just
right.
to make sure I do.
All right. Now I'm gonna get fix the cameras here for.
Yes. Okay, I got it. All right. All right. They're still on. We're good.
I can.
Get you sit down here, and then we'll get the camera here, Tyler. Here we go. Zoom in over here. Alright, you're ready.
Let's see. Bullet East. I need that one.
Got it? Here we go. And the after party is back right here on Talk 104, 930 KCT, presented by Greenwood Ford. And, of course, I'm Brian Davis. Kaden Gaylord-Day. Tyler Fernandez is here. And Tyler has had the, I guess, not luck, but we should say the privilege. The privilege of calling or being the voice of the South Warren Lady Spartans championship season. You get to call the majority of their games. I mean, obviously, you feel so lucky and privileged that you was able to chronologize their season.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, one of the things that I think the first game I did, well, I'm getting out my other stuff here, was the game between Assumption and South Warren, because it was last year's defending state champions against South Warren, and they've been number one in the state pretty much the entire season. So I was kind of fascinated by that matchup because, you know, even though Assumption lost some good players from that title team, you're like, oh, they're still a pretty good team, and they're top five. Man, South Warren just came out and played like it was nothing. Like they just came out and just pretty much just hitting it all over the yard. McLean Hudson. I'm gonna tell you what, man. She's unbelievable. I mean, I don't want to say put her in the GOAT conversation, but my goodness, you just can't keep me away from saying that. Yeah, you should put her in that conversation.
She's I think the one and right now the GOAT.
She has just about every state record. She has most hits, most home runs, career hits. I think career home runs too, maybe.
Oh, she blew that out.
Now we have to put a caveat with that too. She played since 7th grade, so she's got 6 years.
But that also shows how great that she has been, that she's been able to play for that long. But I get what you're saying.
But some schools, you know, you're not playing until you're a freshman. I mean,
no, I get you. Yeah.
But if you're really good as a 7th, 8th grader, you're playing, and so I mean, credit to her for being that good and dedicated to play. But yeah. She has pretty much every record pretty much in the book, pretty much. Yeah. So, only thing she just can't pitch. That's all. But I bet she would, though. So,
yeah. But, it was, I mean, obviously I wasn't down here for the whole season, but I do look forward to state every year and seeing who's there. So I was rooting for South to get there. I root for everybody, but those girls, there are a few that I built real personal relationships with them and their families. So I was rooting for them to get there, and they got there. And after that first game, who was that first game, Tyler?
Against Oldham County.
Yeah,
blew them out.
12-0.
Blew them out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Second game comes. Like we've seen this story before, right? They've been there 4 straight years,
right?
Or 3 or 4 straight years, and they've lost before in a game where they faced a really good pitcher.
Yes.
So Madison Central was their best pitcher that they would face in the tournament.
Yeah, yes,
debatably, and that was the 11th region, so I covered them. And so I was going to be there for that game either way, but I was telling them, hey, there's a really good pitcher on the other team, so it's going to be an interesting battle.
Yep.
And Madison Central, they were in it to the very end. I mean, obviously, they are the only team on their schedule to take them to extra innings this year. They had a really good pitcher, and obviously, they were dealing. But usually, South Warren would get unlucky with a few breaks. Well, in the Madison Central game,
they got the breaks.
And they made the spectacular plays that they needed to play. And then obviously, Layla hits the walk-off home run there. So that was a huge sigh of relief for all of them that, hey, we had this moment approach us again, but this time we got over the hump.
Tyler, I think Madison Central, and it was another team too as well, are the only two teams that actually had a lead on South Warren all this season.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who it is. Madison Central, yes, you are correct on that
And there's one other, I believe.
I'm trying to think. It's something.
Was it the Tennessee team, maybe?
I think it was Mount Juliet.
So the Tennessee, the number one team for Tennessee.
It was Mount
then.
Juliet from Tennessee.
So the number one team in Tennessee when they played.
So even then, just with the way that they've been able to figure out a way to win those games and just coming back from that deficit, I mean, that just goes to show you that, look, sometimes you could be an undefeated team and then not be able to, when your back's against the wall, be able to overcome that adversity. South Warren has shown, even when they not had their best days, be able to overcome that adversity. I was looking at the stat book from Ryherd, which, by the way, prayers up to him and his battle with the ALS.
Yes.
But I do think that it goes to show you that even when South Warren's not having their best day, they still find ways to win. For example, they got held to their season low 5 hits. Their season low going into that game was only 6. And they had that a few times.
Wow.
They only had 6 hits. And their batting average from that game was only 192.
Wow.
And for Layla Ogden to come in and where things just was not going South's way. I mean, it wasn't as if South Warren played bad. They were hitting the ball pretty well. It's just Madison Central's got some pretty good outfielders. Hatterick made some good plays. McIntosh made a catch at the warning track. And the thing that South Warren does really well is they take advantage of others' mistakes. The reason South Warren was able to find a way to get those 2 runs in that 4th inning, if I'm not mistaken, was because of off of 2 Madison Central errors.
Yes.
And when South Warren does that, you got to play a clean game if you want to beat South. And what Madison Central did, they were clean for the most part, but outside of those 2 errors, if they didn't have those, it'd be a different story. And it was amazing. You know, that's the game. That's just how you play the game.
Tyler, let me ask you this: when did you start feeling like this team could run the table and be undefeated for the whole season?
I would say after they played some of the teams outside of the state, more importantly, Orange Beach out from Alabama.
Okay.
Because the way that South Warren was able to beat them 6-1.
Yes.
Orange Beach, Alabama, and it still baffles me to my very core that they're still ahead of South Warren in the polls.
How?
And yet they beat them. South Warren is the only undefeated team that is in the top 5 in that coach's poll, and I'm sorry, in that poll in the top 25. And trust me, Max Preps is like an ex, right? You like him, but you don't trust him.
No, I don't trust him. I don't trust Max Preps.
That's my feeling towards Max Preps is I like it sometimes, and I don't really trust it.
I don't trust him. I don't trust Max Preps.
It also makes it worse that they're 1 spot above South Warren. Like, geez, if only there was a game that could decide who's the better team between the two. You know?
Orange Beach. What's that final score? Oh, 6-1. 6-1.
But yeah, even like going off that, just the error situation at state. I'm not going to say they won state because of the errors in the championship. No, Bullet East. It was bases loaded, 2 outs,
and a 3-run error.
And 3-run error to basically seal the game. But that just shows you have to be on your best. Like, you can't make a mistake in the biggest moments when you're playing a team like that, because it'll cost you like that, like it cost Bullet East there. But I mean, absolutely great year for South Warren. I think after last year losing the way they did, they came back, and I talked to some of the players and coaches and parents that are like, they had to drop the egos at the door. A lot of people were playing for stats last year, and worrying about stats and accolades and stuff like that. This year they weren't worried about that, because obviously these 6 or 7 senior girls, it's their last season and they haven't captured the state title yet. So that was their whole focus. And, for them to be able to win it there and get that monkey off of their shoulder, and, you could just see the sigh of relief coming out of them, tears on the field and all that. So it was awesome to watch.
So Tyler, we know about the super senior class. We know about them, but how big this year was the 8th grader, Callie Kuzma, then sophomore Keegan Pruitt to the softball team? How big were they on this team too as well?
I'm going to focus a little bit more on Kuzma, just because of the fact that, look, Keegan Pruitt's had her moments too.
Yes, she has.
I'm not going to pretend as if Keegan Pruitt did nothing. Like, she did contribute herself as well to that South Warren run. But the way that Callie Kuzma has been able to play for an 8th grader, come up at a big spot like that.
Yes.
I mean, the home run she hit out to left field, that was an amazing sight to see. And then up until that point, the main game that stood out to me more than anything was against Madison Central, because she was the only player up until, I would probably say, more towards at 8th inning, she was the only player to register hits for South Warren. Was her. And that's amazing for an 8th grader, just to have the guts to go up there against a really good pitcher, Kate Drury, who does not give up a whole lot. I mean, prior to that, she struck out 14 against Lawrence County, which is very, very impressive. So I was just thinking, like, man, if the top of the lineup doesn't get going, somebody from the bottom of the lineup has to step up. And that was Callie Kuzma. She was the one that anytime Southmore needed to get a hit, she got it. If anytime that they needed to get that first run on the board and get an RBI, she would do it for you. That's how good of a player she is, and no question, she's got a bright future at South Warren. Look, Kelly Reynolds continues to be a solid coach, but man, she's going to be crucial for her development as the years go on for her at South.
I was going to mention, I believe Callie was the 9 batter, right?
Yes.
So
She was. Yes.
If she was the first to come up, and she was in big spots in multiple games, I was like, if Callie gets on, if the 9 batter gets on, you got 1, 2, 3 behind them with McLean and Hadley. Like, you are in big trouble. So yeah, she definitely showed up in huge amount of spots, and Kaylee, Kaylee Wilson doesn't get a lot of love because she's the only one out of the super seniors that isn't going to play college softball.
No, but she's going to honors college. I mean, she's going to go save the world.
No, yeah.
So hey,
well, I was going to say, like, she was like, an unsung hero for South Warren. She had a great career there. She showed up in many spots as well. Her and Parker Willoughby, RBI and Queens there, bringing in runs when they needed to the most. So they were huge as well. So yeah, I mean, all of them. Everybody contributed to that win, and you see a lot of former South Warren players that were at the game. And obviously, the past couple of years they were very close, and those girls were extremely excited for them to win as well. And it was more like a community thing to have 45-0. Best team ever in my eyes, best record ever, obviously. Like, I don't see anybody else being able to do that, or at least not in the near future. So 1 through 9, and even girls on the bench, the younger girls, everybody contributed to them going 45-0 and winning the state championship.
Yeah, I was going to bring up to you as well, Tyler, because Coach Kelly had some girls on the bench that didn't play very much varsity time that could have played elsewhere and been playing a lot. So that tells you the talent that's coming up. He's got, I mean, it's scary. South Warren is scary for the next 3, 4, 5 years coming up.
Oh, I mean, that's just the culture that Coach Kelly Reynolds has built at South Warren. I mean, you literally look at her overall record. She's now 272-38 in her career at South Warren.
Oh my gosh!
Now you can add a state title to that resume. You can add now Miss Kentucky softball winner McLean Hudson on that list as well, because she's been huge for McLean's development, and not only for her but for the rest of that senior group. I mean, McLean Hudson to Florida State, even though she was committed to Kentucky. Sorry, Caden.
I was very upset about that. I talked to her mom. No, personally, like, story-wise, like, I had so many story ideas that I was ready to do with McLean. I already talked to her mom about it, and then she decommitted, which I completely understand.
Well, I mean, when Florida State comes calling, I mean, you got to go.
You completely get it, but yeah.
Well, and they won their 20th ACC title in program history.
Yes.
So,
and she's going to be playing right away with that team?
She could be starting right away, yeah.
I think she will be. I mean,
look, Hadley Borders to Mizzou.
Oh, my goodness.
Parker Willoughby to Ohio State. Layla Ogden to Western Kentucky, and Kenley Russell to Oklahoma State. And then you got Courtney Norwood, who, as for now, is committed to Kentucky.
Yep. For now.
That doesn't mean someone can call him, because look, I've gotten the huge opportunity to go to John Kropp Stadium, and just the history that it's had, and there's the amount of the championship success it's had, like hosting a regional, going to a College World Series, and hosting supers a few times. So look, it's a pretty good place. Play softball, but man, just kind of going back to South Warren, it's just amazing just what Kelly Reynolds has been able to do with this program, and she's done good for herself because she was a former player herself, and she was the first ever Miss Kentucky softball award winner.
Yes, she was
from Warren Central. So that goes to show you that she's very familiar with the area and she knows how to get the most out of everybody.
And you mentioned those players. They lost one. They lost a D1 player in Haiden Holloway who left to FAU. She left after last year, and she moved down there early. So, and she was the catcher for this team. So Kinley Russell had to transition to the catcher position, which I didn't know that until state. And I'm like, who's that? I'm sitting next to her family, and I'm like, who's that? Who's that catching? That's Kinley. I'm like, what? Kinley's catching now?
Yeah.
So for her to make that transition and what she's used to catching before, but I didn't know that. So for her to make that transition after Haiden left, who was a power hitter as well, and be as effective as Kinley always has been. I always say she's one of the best contact hitters I've ever seen, because if you need somebody just to plop one into shallow right field or roll all the way back to the wall, Kinley's your girl. Yeah. So for her to make that transition and be able to do what this team needed to do, needed her to do to go out and win a state title, I mean, all props to her.
Yeah, and she's always been a person kind of going off what you said. Again, same thing with Callie Kuzma. Anytime that Southmore needs a run score or an RBI, she does it. She did it in that title game against Bullitt East. Anytime they needed a big hit, she just was able to drop it right in front of 3 Bullitt East Lady Charger players and just get 2 across. I mean, that's the bottom line. And kind of going back to the air a little bit, I mean, bless Caitlin McDonald's heart on that one. I mean, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it, because I mean, that point, it's like Southmore's got all the momentum. Oh no, 2 quick outs, and then it's like, oh, the inning's over. Oh no, it isn't. And then just it was crazy. But you know what, Kenley Russell she's been good for Southmore, and 100% deserves to be on that all tournament team in state. The only one that baffled me that did not make it was Layla Ogden.
And I thought you get 4. I thought that was the way. I thought you got 4, counting your most outstanding player, which was Courtney Norwood. But I thought you got 3 plus your outstanding player, but they only named 3. And again, don't get me started on Tackett and KHSAA. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it PC here on the Facebook Live feed. Yeah,
I know what you mean though. Like, Layla definitely deserved to be there. They definitely should have more players on there.
I mean, she did get 3A Player of the Year and Max Prep's Player of the Year for the state of Kentucky. So hey, you gotta make it up somehow, and then they did, and then some. There you go.
So, I mean, we don't know the landscape of softball all over the place, but we do know for sure that Courtney Norwood obviously is a Mississippi softball candidate next year.
Oh, no question.
There's no doubt about that.
No question. I mean, the way that she's just been able to pitch that softball, I mean, you could not find any player that throws the softball harder or faster than Courtney Norwood does.
Wow.
I compared it as if you're throwing a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in MLB baseball. It's just that quick, and if you blink, by the time that happens, ball's already in the glove. Like, I'll literally blink for 1 second. As soon as the ball comes out of Courtney Norwood's hands, I'll be, where'd the ball go? Oh, it's in the glove. Either a strike or a ball.
She can throw the mess out the ball. That's the thing. When I saw the first game I saw them, I'm like, Courtney didn't have that zip on the ball like last year, like she does now.
Yeah, she did now.
The improvement in her has been tremendous.
She sure did. Hopefully, Amy Tudor's watching. Get her to Western. Come on, Amy. Well, get her down here. Come on.
I mean, Layla's also a pitcher as well.
I mean, would not be a great staff to have if Layla and Courtney here on the hill pitching? Oh my goodness! And we had Amy on the show, and she said she does not know what she wants to do with Layla yet. To pitch or let her field.
I don't think
she definitely wants her back. She said she wants her back. That's for sure.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, Layla's a special case where she is a really good pitcher, but also a really powerful hitter. So usually at Western, the pitchers don't usually pitch, or they usually focus on pitching. They haven't really had that type of player to where that can do both.
Yep.
So it is a little bit different for WKU for sure. But I think she'll be utilized in both aspects for sure.
Well, you got to have her do both. You got to have her pitch and bat. Yeah. You got to.
I mean, I think that's one of the more underrated parts of her game is her pitching.
It is.
She has an ERA under 1. I mean, if you looked at her and Courtney Norwood combined, they have an ERA under 1. So, I mean, that's telling you something. I mean, you look at those two, I mean, they're the best duo in the state. the best pitching duo in the state of Kentucky this year. I mean, that's what stands out, is if their offense in days where it's not at their best, they can count on their pitching to get the job done. I mean, the 4th region title game is a perfect example of that. She struck out over 10, probably about 15 batters.
Yes.
And not until Layla Ogden hit that home run, but you could just feel a sigh of relief. That's just because, Barron County was just playing everybody deep. That's the way you got to play. That's the way you got to play.
That's the way you got to play, Sal.
And that's some of the things that you make the key mistake. And Barron County, give them credit for it, because they were the only ones that did not make that mistake, was playing everybody deep, especially their outfielders. Like you had one of their center fielders by the warning track. You had one deep out into the right down the line. You also had a deep out in the left. So you were basically forcing Southmore to either put the ball on the ground, or in order to get a hit, you're going to have to hit it over the wall. That was the key thing that stuck out to me, was if Southmore can get one over the wall, with the way Courtney Norwood's been pitching, they got it. And with Norwood as well. I mean, all she does is rack up MVPs. I don't know how, I don't know why. She just does. 2025 4th region tournament MVP.
Yep.
2026 4th region tournament MVP,
yep.
And then your 2026 state tournament MVP.
So next year, you've seen a lot of their games. Hopefully, do you know who's going to be following Norwood? Because she can't pitch every game. There's no way in the world. So
they got 2 young ones in Emmy Goss and Avery Reese. I think those look, if they just continued, and I know they will, but if they just continue to buy into, Courtney's going to have to be, that senior leader.
She has to.
She
Yes.
has to. Like, she needs to be the one, that's going to be there and just be able to help them out in any way they can. Because I would assume, outside of Courtney Norwood pitching, she also plays first base.
Right.
So if there's time called, and either Goss or Reese need to have like a little, motivational pep talk, she can just, like, when time's called, obviously, quickly go over and make sure that, everything, just to calm them down a little. Because, look, they have not had a lot of pitching experience, because they mainly relied on Ogden and Norwood to get the job done.
Yes.
But now you're going to have to be in a situation where, Norwood's not going to have to do everything all the time. Like, there's going to be cases where teams are going to figure her out. I mean, Madison Central, she allowed 5 hits, which was the most she's allowed all year. So that goes to show you that, even the best sometimes get, hit off of a pretty good amount. But fortunately, when you have as deep of a pitching staff as South Warren has, then you don't have to worry about that issue. But again, it's going to be Courtney Norwood and 2 of their young guns. So they're going to be pretty young. I mean, look, next year they'll still be good. I mean, even though they're going to be a younger team, they're still going to have high expectations. I mean, Jordan Sheehan's going to replace. There's some big shoes going to have to fill. Jordan Sheehan's going to have to fill in the spots. I mean, that's just going off. And if you, Avery Reese, Emmy Goss. I mean, that you have pretty much, there's a lot of shoes that need to be filled. And I probably expect growing pains early on, but with the culture that Kelly Rounds has built, I think South Warren is still, they're still going to be the cream of the crop. I mean, look, it'll be between, for the most part, it'll be between them and Greenwood, but if Bowling Green continues the way that they've built off of the last 2 years, they could be in that conversation
I'm going to
as well.
throw Barron County in there, because they don't lose anybody.
No,
most everybody's back from Barron County.
And Shea Bogue's going to be back in the circle again next year.
Her last year, So they're going to be tough.
And that's the only pitcher Barron County's used all year. They have not used anybody else.
He's got to groom somebody for the following year. So I'm sure Coach Murphy got a plan. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna. We'll have them on the show next week for Live from Greenwood Forest. Hopefully y'all can come out there and be part of the show too as well. I just want to know. We'll probably ask Coach Kelly this as well too. That now that the super class is gone, and now you got a young class coming up. How much pressure are they feeling? That we gotta be almost as good as they were. It's going to be some pressure. It's going to be some pressure.
I don't think there's going to be like, oh, we got to be as good as, the back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year and 6 girls who are going to D1 college.
But team accomplishments.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. But, that class of seniors didn't accomplish the final thing until their senior year. So they'll be a young team.
But they were still winning district and regions, though. Yeah, I mean, what if they don't win region next year? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think every dynasty comes to an end at some point. So I don't think I don't think they're going to take as much pressure as you think to back those girls up just because of how great that class is. I don't think you can expect yourself to be, as a young team, to be as great as that early on as in a new tenure.
You mentioned that word dynasty. Is that dynasty over though? It may not be over.
I mean, it could not be, obviously, but I'm speaking on the pretense of if it were to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it just, again, it comes down with the culture and the way Coach Kelly Reynolds has built that program. I mean, she's literally gotten those players just to buy into what they're selling. I mean, they've literally have not had a double-digit loss season in a long time. Like, I don't think they've ever had a double-digit loss season under Kelly Reynolds.
I don't think they have either.
I don't think they have.
I don't think they have either.
That just goes to show you that it's all about how they play. They play it the right way. Like that's the thing. You could be the best team in the world, but if you don't have the right players and you don't have the players that are high, not only in like high character and are very integral and together, then it's not going to mean anything. Like, look, they're gonna be young, but I expect that camaraderie and that team chemistry to still be there. I mean, Jordan Sheehan, she got some playing time as a designated player. Callie Kuzma, the 8th grader, she's gotten some playing time. Courtney Norwood's going to be back on the team next year. So yes, while you're losing a really talented group, I mean, nothing will. I'll be honest, nothing will top that season ever. I don't think it will, unless some team just goes ham and replicates South Warren's, get more than South Warren's 38 run rule wins.
Could be the class of 2030 he has coming up. It could be that class.
Boy,
there's a lot of talent on that team that didn't even see the field that much, that could be playing elsewhere and be starting.
Yeah, no, I mean, and look, Hallie Shively, majority of her time was base running, but she's gotten a couple opportunities at the plate. Brianne Russell, and she's going to have herself some opportunities. I mean, look, pretty much all the time she was brought into pinch run for Kenley.
Right.
That was the main thing. But they got a good combination of both power and speed on the base paths. And that goes to show you that South Warren, not only are they built for now, but they're built for the future.
Wow, it's incredible.
Yep.
It's incredible, putting the nasty in the word dynasty. Wow. My goodness. Oh, Tyler, I guess, is this your last time broadcasting in Kentucky, or are you going to try to come back? Or because
I said it was my last time doing it, so yeah, I'm just just super grateful.
Okay.
I'm just grateful for everybody, and look, I've graduated college, so I mean, look, I'm 23 now, and I'm just trying to find something that's in my wheelhouse, and been working on that. I've been involved with TSSAA, which stands for Sportscasting Talent Agency of America. So STAA. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't even say the acronym right.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, no, I have John Chalesnik and everybody. Them super helpful. I've gotten STAA call of the week 3 times, and especially McLean's homer, Armani Bird's dunk, and then that walk-off home run from Layla Ogden in the state tournament. So it's been pretty fun. And then just grateful for everybody and just the support that they've been able to give me. And I'm going to be doing the debrief with them for the last time, and hopefully it's not a soppy one, but I'm just been grateful for what I've been able to do with Sporting Times the last 3 years, and now it's, you just gotta move on and see what you can do.
Always bet on yourself, man. That's right. That's what I did. Left last year, bet on myself, ended up to where I wanted to be.
Should have stayed, bro. Should have stayed. Well, I get it. You're pushing the budget now.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not from here, so I mean that's part of also the reason why. So yeah, but look, again, just been grateful. It's been really fun. I've had a lot of good moments with me. Some that I wish I'd had back. And, I mean, we all have had those, but just overall, I've had nothing but really good experience with them, and I've got good trust in Doug and Joe and everybody over there at Sporting Times that that they're going to continue to carry the torch and see where they go. I mean, we got a lot of guys that got a lot of potential, to do some really good things.
I could see you being a studio host for on the game.
Oh, hey, 1025, please hit me up. I think I've emailed their guy, once. I've not gotten word back back from him. But I'll be sure to email him again.
You need to contact GP. That's who you need to contact. That's the person you need
George
to contact.
Plaster, absolute legend, super great guy. I met him at the Green Hills Mall, so it was a really experienced, wonderful man. And they did their show at I think it was a sports bar that used to be a Panera Bread. It's now a sports bar, it was pretty cool. The atmosphere was awesome. I think this was during the college football playoff, and that's when I got a new phone. So it was really fun. My mom and I got to go, and it was an amazing experience getting to meet George and everybody there.
I could see you being the studio host for the Predators during Predator season.
Hey, look, let's get back on that rise again. I mean, got the former Colorado Avalanche GM, and he's already making moves already.
He's making moves now. Will be effective.
That's the thing. We will see.
Can they get back to the cup like they did 10 years ago?
2017.
Yep, that's 10. It'll be 10 years this season.
Still the national. Anytime you hear the Game 6, that puck was clearly across the line. That'll be in your head for a while. But it was awesome.
I just remember it because it was so freaking packed down there that weekend because the CMA Fest was going the same freaking time. It was hard to get around down there during that whole time. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
That many people come for a country weekend. Yikes. All right. So Tyler, I guess, are you going to change your X? Are you going to still be on X still? Or are you going to be? Are you going to change it up now, or is the?
I'm still going to be on there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll still be on there, and whatnot. I'll try to keep you all updated as much as I can. But I've still been keeping up with like Western stuff and all that. Grant Newell is working out with the Memphis Grizzlies right now. So yeah, that's literally the fourth. That's literally the fourth team that Grant has been able to work out for. Something that shows that something good comes out of playing in the Group of 5 level at least.
It does. It does. Awesome. So we'll keep up with you on X and wish you the best of luck too as well. Caden, I guess we'll see you whenever you have a break.
I'll be around. Yeah, I mean, like I come down here every so often, and I have a lot of friends in Nashville too. So always, whenever you come through Bowling Green and go to Nashville, so I always try to stop by and say hello to people and see what's going on and stuff like that. Like I said, this is my second home. I was here for college and 3-4 years after, so I always went back to Western and talk to as many students as possible and try to give some motivation and some advice, and so I always continue to do that. Like, my teachers meant so much to me in high school and college, so I always try to pay it forward and give back. So yeah, I'm always around regardless whether I'm in Kentucky or not, but I do plan on being in Kentucky for a good while, so at least 8 years or 8 to 10 years or so.
There you go.
Will I see you at Titanics games this year?
At who?
Titans.
The Titans. Well,
I'm not a Titans fan.
No, but you could never recover it because
it'll be.
We cover Bengals more than anything.
I would say the Bengals are probably the closest thing to Lexington. I'm excited, honestly, for the new stadium that's going to be in town, and it's going to the side of 2030, the Super Bowl. It's going to be there, and
I'll be there for that.
It's going to be
working or as a fan.
Both.
Okay.
Definitely not as a fan. Probably not.
I'm be able to work.
I'm a Giants fan, so I doubt it.
Yeah, it'll be us. Hey, I'm a Titans fan too. You're going to play us this year, so it's going to be fun. And all the Giants fans were really trolling, saying, "Enjoy Matt Nagy," because everybody thought that they were going to hire him as head coach. Instead, they got Robert Saleh, which I'm happy with. Look, I'm hoping that his tenure the second time is better because I think some claim he didn't get a fair shot with the Jets. But either way, I'm hoping that things are going to be better. I like that he brought in a much better offensive staff because I think that's the thing that hurt him the most with the Jets was he didn't have the right staff. I mean, you got Brian Dable now as the OC, Gus Bradley's the DC.
Where did Brian Dable come from?
He came from head coach of the Giants. Fun fact.
I like Dable as well. Dable.
But here's the thing is though about that though. I mean, there's still no line. There's still no offensive line though for Cam Ward.
Yeah. Well. I think they recently got a center from the Raiders that they have signed a free agent. Like they drafted Pat Coogan from Indiana. Like no better football name than Pat Coogan. Look, that doesn't mean though the offensive line is still a concern because it is. You got Dan Moore on left tackle who's getting paid a lot. J.C. Latham's young, and he moved back to his position. He played at Alabama, which is at right tackle, and hopefully they can figure out the right guard solution. It's mainly it's that right side of the O-line that has me the most concerned. Because, I mean, Peter Skronsky is a stud, absolute stud. And
He's a stud. He is.
Then you're going to have a new center because Lloyd Cushenberry is now the backup center for the Bills.
Right.
And then, like I said, with that line, obviously you drafted Fernando Carmona from University of Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, J.C. Latham's going to be your right tackle. So your potential probably here's your guys set in stone. Dan Moore at left tackle. You got Peter Skronsky at left guard, and then center's a question, right guard's a question, and then right tackle J.C. Latham. That's pretty much more likely going to be your starting offensive line. So look, Cam Ward. I know he is struggling in OTAs. I don't tend to make a big deal about OTAs because it's June.
It's June.
Okay,
I agree.
And
I agree with that.
And look, Carnell Tate's shown off at practice. That's great. It's June, guys. I'm keeping it on the down low. Now he did have a good bounce back first day of minicamp, but again, it's minicamp. It's mainly going to be when they put the pads on and when they play somebody else other than themselves and doing joint practices. Is when we're going to see the full repertoire. And everybody's like making a big deal about, he's struggling on completing passes. Like, he's learning a new system. Like, take it from Drake May and Caleb Williams.
Yes.
When the new coaches came in, Drake May had to learn under Josh McDaniels.
Yes.
And they actually ended up being pretty well. I don't want to hear any of this mess about cupcake schedule because they were awful the year before Vrabel came in and arrived. And we won't talk about everything else. But and it's the same thing with Caleb Williams.
Don't make Diane jealous, okay?
And then also the same thing with Caleb Williams. He had to make an adjustment under Ben Johnson, but once he and the rest of the team bought in, what he was selling, Caleb Williams flourished.
He did.
You just need to have the right coaching and the right system for these players to thrive. I mean, this is the case of the McDaniel system. He was historically really solid as an offensive coordinator. It's the same thing with Ben Johnson's system. He was successful in this system. Like whether it was in Detroit and what he's doing in Chicago, and then Brian Dable, same thing with the Bills, the Giants, and now him with Cam Ward and the Titans. And word on the street was that Brian Dable was heavily interested in Cam Ward. And I promise, I'm not bashing on you, Kaden, just because you're a Giants fan. I'm not making that case at all, because I do think Jackson Dart has a lot of potential. I do like a lot of he's got a lot of high upside.
He's got a great upside.
He's got a great upside. And look, he just needs to like Cam Ward, have a good offensive line to protect him so he doesn't get injured and concussed all the time. Hopefully that's not the case, and I don't want to wish any ill will on Jackson Dart because I do think he's a good QB and he's got a lot of potential in this league. But I just think overall you saw a main difference in play when Dable was the coach versus when he wasn't there. It was the same thing with Brian Callahan when he was the coach of Cam Ward versus when he got fired. You saw a major difference between the two. So, when it comes to, I believe it was a week 3, and it might be week 3 that they're playing against each other. It's either week 3. It's either week 3 or week 4. Titans and Giants.
Yeah, it's something like week 3, week 4, something like that. Yeah,
I think it's in week 3, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it is in week 3. Do that. It's a week 4.
They play the Eagles in week 2, so it's maybe week 4.
I think it is the Giants. I think it might be week
3.
Yeah, because I'm saying,
okay.
Say they play the Jets and the Eagles at home to start the year, and then they're on that's their first road game.
Yep.
Look, anybody, and even though the Titans don't get a lot of coverage nationally, like that'll be a good headline game just because of the situation of everything that went through, but Titans wanted to get Harbaugh and whatnot, and then people say enjoy Matt Nagy and whatnot, and as the offensive coordinator. So, look, hopefully the all the stuff that's happened for the Giants, I'm hoping that they can put it past them and all the drama that's gone on, and hopefully they can get rid of that negativity and channel it into their season. So I'm hoping that will be the case, because I do think, I think the Giants being solid is going to be good for everybody. I mean, look, the Giants really haven't had a whole lot of success since Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. So it's and he beat Tom Brady in both. So there you go. You can take that for what you will. In my opinion, Eli Manning, I think, deserves to be a Hall of Famer. But that's just me talking. Do I think first ballot? No, but I do think at some point he will get in.
He'll get in. Maybe no problem.
I know. His times, his record was terrible and whatnot, but dude, in his prime, he was solid.
Yep.
So
there we go. Tyler Fernandez. Thank you, sir, for all you do.
Thank you
so much. Kaden Gaylord-Day. Don't be a stranger.
I'm still around. I told you, every time you come to state, I always say what's up. I make sure to always say hello.
But state's in Lexington, not Bowling Green.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you know, gas is super high right now.
Oh, boy.
But you got a budget, though. You're going to handle that, though.
Oh, no, trust
you got a
me.
budget now. You're good now.
The gas prices in Lexington are like way down. Literally, I drove by one gas station, one Shell was $3.37 a gallon. Like, I'll take that any day.
I'll take it any day of the week.
It's crazy. We're saying that's way down to what.
Yeah, I know. What it used to. I know.
Trust me. The gas prices in Nashville at the Kroger closest to my house are like $4.07 a gallon.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
That's crazy. All right. So that's going to wrap up the after party. Don't forget, next week we are live from Greenwood Ford for the 1-year anniversary show with the South Florida Spartans softball championship team that will all be joining us. And then the after party, Adam Witt, our very first guest here on Sports Talk. He is also not only the Bowling Green Purples golf coach, he's now the head coach of the Lady Purples golf team as well too, and he'll have some of his players there with him too as well. So we thank you for joining us. That's Tyler. That's Kaden. I'm Brian. Sports Talk live on Talk 104, WKYT, presented by Greenwood Ford. See you next week, sports fans.
Crazy.
That is it.
That's it.
That's it. Let me turn down the volumes here. That way you all can talk freely.